What's happening, chess fans? Welcome to Net Chess and Chill. Today is episode number 78 on my journey to 1200 ELO. So, if you guys enjoy my content, please like and subscribe. And without further ado, let's get into today's games. All right, you guys might have noticed that I said today's games. We're going to be reviewing 3 games that I lost today. Um, I was having trouble with my audio, so I figured, and I lost 3, so I figured I'd just cover them all together. Um, they're not very long. I kind of ended the games a little early, but we can look over them and see kind of where I went wrong. So this first game, I played against a guy, Luki 2009. He was rated 1200 from Poland. He played with an 85.9% accuracy. I played with a 78.1, and I had a big blunder in this game, so we'll get to it. So I started off with kind of my typical London stuff. Now, I decided to trade the bishop here, which is the best move. So I kind of thought a little bit about that. I didn't know if I should go for the trade right away or what. But it ended up being a good move. Taking with the pawn is the better way than taking with the queen. However, in this position, I made a fatal error. So I just developed a knight, which is not a bad move. The better move would have been trying to get the other knight developed into castle. However, I do get this knight out, and they actually play knight to b4, attacking my queen, which is actually an inaccuracy. But I I find the best move, but in the game, I didn't think that it was a very good move. Queen check, right? So what I was thinking was, I was like, oh, he's gonna have to go back, um, because I'm attacking it. But the bishop's touching, he's defending the knight, and he can actually just play c6, which my opponent does, which is not a good move. Um, and I didn't really realize that I can just play this, and I'm crushing in this position right now. I just got to find the right way to follow up everything. The reason I was upset about this is because I can't take this. I'd have to come kind of back. I did see that I could do this, but I was just not really seeing why um, this would have been that great of a move. Um, so, yeah, in this position, I was worried that I'm getting forked and I have no way to stop it. And that is the truth. The best move here is, like I said, to take the pawn. Um, he could attack my queen if he wants to. Um, I still can't take this pawn because the knight, but more than likely he's going to go for the fork here, and I'll have to slide my queen or my king somewhere, and he'll win the rook. Um, yeah, so I ended up just resigning here just because I realized that moving my queen back couldn't have been the right move. I might as well have tried to go for the pawn, and this would have been something. I would have had something going on, but I resigned in that position. My opponent found it was a quick little game, so my opponent found a decent way to kind of deal with um, my short-sightedness in the game. So we'll check out the second game. I lost this game as well. Um, I played with 73.7% accuracy. My opponent played with 79.5. We just had a bunch of mistakes in this game. So this one was a little bit longer, but I kind of just did my thing in the opening. I felt pretty normal here. The bishop move could have been okay. So it does want me to get my pyramid first. I felt like this was fine here, but it actually wants me to not allow the knight in either. So I felt pretty comfortable here. I brought the queen all the way over, which isn't the better move. It actually is like, go ahead, give up the pawn for some reason. I don't know why it's saying that. Um, Interesting. I mean, it gives me a solid spot to throw my bishop if I want. If he does take this, I slide over. This is hanging. I don't know. I don't think I would have played a4 here, but maybe you guys see something that I don't. Um, he does go for the queen trade. Taking with my pawn was a better idea. I mean, it opens up my rook, but I have trouble seeing why that's a better move. But he takes. I move the bishop over. Again, it wants a4, I guess, for things like that. I kind of like made a silly move here because he just attacks my bishop again, and then I got to move my bishop yet again, right back to where it was. And then he gets this fork. I took, which is not the best move. The best move is to actually drop all the way back, let him take the knight, and we'll have a messed up pawn structure. But, oh, actually, it's kind of funny. I didn't see this in the game, actually. I mean, sure, he can win the piece, but I win his rook, so he actually can't take. So that's interesting. I didn't see that in the game. I just was like, oh, shit, I got forked. And I thought, might as well take with the bishop, but now that I look at it, he can't actually take without losing the rook, so kind of crappy because I didn't see that. And he just goes to trade down everything. This was another mistake. It wanted me to go. I should have been trying to go for this fork, and I saw it. I just figured my rook should go to the center of the board. I don't know. We had a few inaccuracies here. He takes. I bring the rook in. This was another mistake. Just attacking this would have been ideal. He can take, actually, but you know what? I mean, he is totally winning here. I don't really have much going on, so I did take that pawn there as well, and I ended up resigning right here. I didn't see a good way to victory, and early resigns I typically don't do, but I was a little irritated about my play. I feel like I wasn't playing very solidly this game or the last game. So we'll get into the third and final game review for the day. This one's pretty short. This one's only like 14 moves. I played a really poor game in this game. 62.8% accuracy. They played with 76. This game, I believe, was fine, like in the opening. Like, I mean, I just started off playing a Slav, but it got out of hand pretty quickly. I thought, I'm going to leave my bishop at home because I've been kind of making the mistake of trying to get the bishop out in recent games, and it's not been going well for me in the Slav. But I didn't need to worry about that here. This ended up being kind of an issue. So I took the pawn in the center of the board. We're all good here. I actually have an advantage. He goes to attack my knight. And this is where I started to try and get fancy. I didn't need to get fancy. Literally could just take the pawn on b2. And I saw it in the game. I chose not to play it and to actually play queen to a5 check on the king, which is actually a blunder because he can just block like that. And yeah, and then I need to move. Just not good. So yeah, let's get out of that. I go for this check. He actually brings his queen in, and I don't know why I did this, but I end up taking the f2 pawn with check and then taking this. This is a blunder. So the best move is to just take the queen. He can recapture with either of these pieces, but regardless, I get the pawn on b2, and this doesn't matter. Like, I mean, if it happens, it happens. It doesn't matter. So yeah, here I just kind of realized I took the bishop, which is also a mistake. Taking the king or the queen was the way to do this. So in this position, I gave the check. I thought for sure he was going to take with the knight, but he takes with the king. And I was like, ah, man, it's not really working out for me. He's up a whole piece. I can win this piece, which I do, but then he gets this fork. So simple things, right? Like I wouldn't have even had this happen had I just said, let's just trade the queen. I am down a piece, but I have tons of pawns for it. His king is kind of like out and about a little bit, and I could probably, I think it's got some counterplay maybe in this position, or I can maybe find some. I'm completely losing if you look at the eval bar, but people at this rating range tend to suck. And yeah, I fell into this fork, and I mean now it's completely losing, right? So like, if I had just taken the queen, yeah, the advantage for white is nowhere near as big as it was. So should have seen that. I kind of had a rough 3 games, but it's okay. We played pretty poor game this game, but I did like my guy's Lion King profile pic. Thought that was cool. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed today's little recap. Kind of sucked. I lost a lot of rating. I went from like 1179 or 1176 to 1155. So it's okay. Some of the guys were higher rated. This guy was more around our rating, and we shouldn't have lost as poorly as we did to him. But it's part of the journey. And yeah, I wish I had gotten a good recording of all 3 games. You guys could have seen me be a little irritated, which is probably pretty fun. But I think I kept my cool pretty well. But when I went back to check the videos, the audio was bad, so I had to do something, and I figured this recap would be a good way to go about it. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's little losing fest, but we'll be right back. We'll be right back at it. So thank you guys. Catch you next time.